my best friend Emily since college. We've been through everything together. Bad breakups, new jobs, those cross-country moves, and those late night what am I doing with my life talks. So when she got engaged last year, I was thrilled. Finally, after everything she's been through, she's marrying the love of her life, Mark. And naturally, I was going to be her maid of honor, and so I couldn't wait to start helping her plan everything and just standing there by her side. Things started off great. We dove into wedding planning. I mean, venue visits and dress shopping and cake tastings. It was so exciting, but somewhere down the line, something shifted. Emily became different. And I know weddings are stressful, but this was something else entirely. She started acting like everything had to be perfect or else she would lose it. She nitpicked everything from the bridesmaids' dresses to the flowers. And when I say nitpicked, I mean she spent hours debating whether blush or dusty rose would be the right color for the bouquets. At first, I thought it was just pre-wedding jitters, you know? But as time went on, it became clear that it wasn't just stress. It was something much more controlling. Then came the dress incident. Emily had picked out her wedding dress months ago, and it was this beautiful, simple dress that was just perfectly her style. But as the wedding approaches, suddenly she changes her mind. She called me up one night and said, "I think I found something better." So I went with her to check it out. And that's when I saw it. This massive ball gown dress just dripping in rhinestones and lace. It was beautiful, but it wasn't her. Emily has always been understated, elegant, and simple. Think Charlotte York. But this dress, that was something out of a fairy tale, and not in a good way. It was like she was trying to be someone she wasn't. So I gently asked her if she was sure about this dress, and she snapped. She yelled at me. She was like, "Why don't you ever support me?" I was taken aback because I had been there with her through everything, and now that I've questioned one decision, suddenly I'm not supportive. It hurt, but it did not stop there. Over the next few weeks, it was clear that Emily wasn't just planning a wedding. She was obsessed with creating a spectacle. And if anything or anyone got in the way, they were the problem. Like, have you ever had a friend just completely switch up on you? Because what did you do? I'll let you know what I did. Let me know in the comments, because maybe I did it wrong. I started dreading every conversation with Emily. Every phone call, every text was about the wedding. How stressed she was, how hard it is to plan, nothing's going to plan, how no one's taking her seriously. She complained to me about the caterers, about the florist, even about the venue staff. And no matter what I tried to do to help, it was never enough. It was like walking on eggshells. If I said the wrong thing, she'd accuse me of not being supportive. But if I didn't say anything at all, she would say that I'm not being involved. I felt trapped. This wasn't the friend that I've known all these years. This was someone else entirely. And this someone was obsessed with creating the perfect day and didn't care about what happened to her relationships along the way. I missed the old Emily. I missed our late night talks and our inside jokes. But now everything was about the wedding, and I didn't know how to bring her back from the brink. It all came to a head at the bridal shower. I'd worked weeks to plan this. The perfect location, the perfect guest list, even down to the little itty-bitty party favors. It was just supposed to be a fun, stress-free day. But as soon as Emily walked in, I could tell something was off. She barely smiled, and instead of ever receiving a thank you, I received plenty of criticisms about what was wrong. The decorations were too plain, and the food wasn't what she wanted, and the games I planned were boring. After everyone left, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I was like, "Emily, what is wrong with you?" And she just stared at me like I'd spoken to her in a foreign language and was like, "What do you mean?" So I told her, "You're acting like the wedding is the only thing that's happening, the only thing that matters, and you are not acting like yourself." She rolled her eyes. She went, "Well, this is my wedding, and I want it to be perfect. Is it that hard to understand?" So I had to take me a big old deep breath before I was like, I took my deep breath, and I was like, "It's not about the wedding, Emily. It's about how you're treating people, and you're not acting like yourself." And she didn't say anything for a long time. I could see the gears just turning in her head, and I'm ready. I'm ready for this apology. And she says, "Maybe this is who I am now." After that, I left the shower feeling more confused than ever. Had my Emily really changed? Or has the stress of the wedding really just brought out a side of her that I've never seen before? I didn't know what to think, but I did know that I couldn't keep letting her behavior slide just because we're best friends. That's not healthy for either of us. I decided I needed to set some boundaries, and I still loved Emily, but I wasn't going to keep being her emotional punching bag anymore. I wasn't going to let her obsession with this wedding ruin our friendship or even just my peace of mind. it was time to take a step back. A few days after the shower, Emily calls me. She didn't apologize outright, but she did say that she was overwhelmed and that she appreciated everything I had done. It wasn't exactly the resolution I was hoping for, but it was something. We agreed to take a break from talking about the wedding and just spend some time on our friendship again, hanging out just as friends. It was a small step in the right direction, but I could tell that we weren't really ever going to be back to where we were before. And maybe that's okay. Maybe we grow and we change as people, and that's okay. That's part of life. So anyway, the wedding is in a few weeks. I'm still going to be the maid of honor. I'm doing my best to support Emily, but also I know it's important to set boundaries. I can't let her wedding consume me. At the end of the day, I hope that after all the wedding stuff, we can just find our way back to the friendship we once had. But if we can't, I know that it's okay to let go if a friendship starts to hurt more than it helps.